2-goal lead for the home squad here through 40 minutes of action as the Brampton Battalion try to get within 1 point of that coveted 5th seed in the Eastern Conference playoff race. I'm pleased to be joined now by Brandon Sudeyko of Inside the O Radio Show. Brandon, sorry, you said everyone gets your name confused with Sudoku, so that's all I keep thinking.
You know what, they do, and that's fine with that. I understand. It's a great word game, so I can roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it gets the mind going. So there you go, right?
Exactly.
People will be thinking of you all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we have to obviously talk about Inside the O is your radio show, and we'll talk about the OHL right now. We have to talk about Brampton first. You know, you are in the Powerade Center. You have a 4-2 lead over the Barrie Colts. This could give them just 1 point behind that 5th seed. Where do you see, I guess, the Battalion finishing in that Eastern Conference playoff race?
You know, because the first 4 spots are locked up, obviously they have a chance to go 5 through 8. And really, I think they're going to stay here at 6. I mean, to catch Kingston is going to be one of those things, but because they have the game in hand and everything, a little tougher than they might like because they don't control their own destiny with the 3-point games.
Right. Now, how do you see, I guess, the Belleville-Peterborough situation, handling or going out here?
Again, the same way. Just because Belleville's already in front, for Peterborough to catch up, it's going to be tough. They have to do a lot, and they need some help. They got a little bit last night with Barrie defeating Belleville, but still going to take a little more, and Belleville will probably lock up that 8th spot.
So if you think Brampton has come in 6th, so you're saying is Niagara a lock for 3rd then?
Niagara's pretty much a lock for 3rd, which will create for a very interesting series between the two, because as we've seen the past couple of weeks here on the Sundays, they've been really good against each other.
Absolutely. Now, is there another maybe matchup in the Eastern Conference that you look forward to?
Two that I really do look forward to, one being Mississauga against whether it is Belleville or Peterborough, just because they have the dominance over the 8th place team. So psychologically, mentally, everything, it's like, well, we can beat them in 4, but if something happens, you know what happens there. The other one is whoever Sudbury plays, because Sudbury's a very dangerous team. I'm sure you've covered it a lot, that they are definitely the dark horse, and anything could happen playing Sudbury Wolves.
Well, absolutely, and right now it looks like they would be playing against the Ottawa 67s, who may have a lot of injuries on that team.
Yes.
Shane Prince may be out, so that would be a very interesting series.
Definitely, with Peter Mrazek coming back, though, that solidifies the goaltending, because that would be a huge hole right there. But with Luciani hurt, Zanetti, of course, Shane Prince, a lot of guys down, a lot of guys have to step up, which is one good thing about the 67s as of late. The rookies have been really doing a good job.
Now, we'll stay within the Peel region and the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors. They are only 7 kilometers away. Just how do you see them and, I guess their dominance going forward in the playoff race?
I gotta say, they will have the dominance, but as I said way back in January on one of my shows, Ottawa 67s, I believe, are the team to beat in the East. So even though Mississauga is number 1 right now, they locked up the OHL title for first overall regular season. Ottawa is still going to be the tougher team out of them. Mississauga's got the overall, but Ottawa can attack every different way, and that'll be what's dangerous.
Well, the funny thing is that they've played 3 times this season. Yes. They're playing the 4th game here at the in Ottawa. This afternoon, and Mississauga has lost 2 of those, and one of them was very lopsided. I believe it was like a 7-1 or 7-2 loss.
7-2 at the very beginning of the season.
That's right, yes. And then they lost again 4-2, and right now I'm just hearing that it's 2-0 Ottawa right now. So losing 3 out of 4 to Ottawa makes you look like a really smart guy right now.
I got to get credit once in a while.
Now, obviously Mississauga hosting the Memorial Cup. How do you see them maybe matching up compared to the teams like the St. John Sea Dogs? They've been absolutely on fire since the beginning of the season. Then you have the Saskatoon Blades. Those guys are 1 and 2 in the CHL rankings, and of course Mississauga being number 3.
With Saskatoon, it'll be definitely tough because they like to play a lot of strong physical hockey. St. John is more going to wow you with their speed and their skill. They can play rough, but I mean those three teams that are I would say probably definitely going to be in the Memorial Cup be great to watch for the fans at the very least. I mean, to predicting it's very hard. Don't necessarily follow the Q&W always, but it'll be great hockey to watch in the Hershey Center come Memorial Cup time.
Do you think Mississauga then will in fact be the OHL champions, or they're just going to be there as the host? Because you know what? Owen Sound looks like a very good team too. Do you think maybe the West will come away with the OHL championship?
Because I'm saying Ottawa can go over Mississauga, I mean, that leads it up in the air what could happen. Owen Sound, yes, very hot, but I mean, this is a real dark horse dark horse to say that Erie Otters could potentially come out of the West, but the way they're playing as of late, even though they're in 6th or 7th right now, I mean, they can easily win the entire thing based on great matchups. So, Owen Sound, great. Saginaw, great, but I wouldn't count Erie out even.
Now, as you can see on the playoff board here, the Western Conference playoff standings, 9 points separate 4th and 8th. So where do you see some of these teams finishing, and maybe a first-round playoff matchup? Who do you look forward to watching?
Well, as of right now, I know Windsor is behind Sarnia right now, 2-1, I believe it was last. So, I mean, if they can't even handle a team like Sarnia, they're not safe in 4th. Erie, like I mentioned, moving up. Guelph, though, they showed some life as London's been coming down. I can't predict the West. It's just too volatile right now.
Craziness happening around the OHL. And you know what? We'll finish this conversation off with some NHL stuff, right?
All right, yeah.
So NHL draft coming up obviously in June. Gabriel Landeskog was that #1 guy at the midseason rankings.
Yes.
Do you think he will be that 5th OHL player in a row to be selected #1 overall?
To steal what a lot of people do, I will say 80% he is the favorite.
80%,
he is
all right.
the most ready out of anybody in this draft. I mean, he can do it with his hands, he can do it with his size, whereas you have Couturier and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins who need to put on the mask.
Right.
Gabriel Landeskog is already walking around about 215 pounds. He's a big boy. He's got a great smile, too, so he's already could be the face of the NHL if something happens to Sid the Kid, of course.
Well, Brandon, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to listening to your radio show Inside the O, and anytime you want to stop by, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Greatly appreciate it.
No problem. We'll be back with more here when our second intermission continues. The Brampton Battalion hoping to stay on top 4-2 through 40 minutes of play. It's Battalion Hockey on Rogers TV, brought to you by Canadian Tire.